Always amazing how long the setup seems to take.
Mm-hmm.
It's going though. Okay. Always amazing. Okay, now I'll go over to record.
Yes.
And now we can let everybody in.
No note takers, good. Look at all these people popping in. Yay.
Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's time to work and play. Good morning, good
Morning,
morning.
good morning, good morning.
So nice to see all your smiling faces.
Yeah, I'm not going to sing, but good morning.
Oh, I will sing with a frog in my throat. So I don't care.
Oh, I'm getting warmed up here. Hold on a second.
So many people. Yay. Oh, hang on, I'm on the wrong page. I need a
All
new
right.
page.
We should have an exciting day ahead of us. So, first of all, just to start, we are already being recorded, as you probably noticed when you came in, as well as I started the YouTube live before and letting everybody in. So you're not all sitting there waiting for me to do the behind the scenes machinations. So welcome everybody to Zanekin Studios Ask Me About AI, where we get together on Fridays and as well as the Sunday podcasts to talk about all things AI. Well, maybe not all things, but particular topics each week. And our community shares they're doing for what they're doing in their businesses using AI. So as always, your participation is much appreciated. We love having you on camera, but we will respect your desires to not be on camera. So, just also so you know, I'll just reiterate, we are going live. We are live on YouTube. So, by being here, you are giving explicit permission to be live on YouTube. So, thank you so much. All right, so today's topic is going to be about affiliate marketing and how not to be salesy. And I'm not going to focus as much on AI tools, at least for this opening segment, because I want to share the idea that affiliate marketing is let's just talk about marketing first of all. So basically, what we're wanting to do is share what you use, or we're sharing what we use without becoming a billboard. So, marketing is not persuading, marketing is framing value. And you're already doing it whenever you share what you're learning, talk about what's working or not, and you narrate your process in public. So the next thing that goes with that is we always want to lead with value first and then attribution second. So just for my own business, I've been talking about Zanekin Studio, which is my core work. I've been talking about Marblism, which is a tool I'm actively using. These are very different businesses, but it's the same pattern. I show how I'm using something. So in this case, this week I focused a lot on Marblism. Next week I'll be focusing on something else that Zanekin uses. I share what it solves. I let people decide if it's relevant. So the link is not just, it's just attribution. It's not pressure. I'm sharing what we're doing because things that work for us. Um, and along the way, because I have link trees set up in my various channels, other things that we promote are in that list. So while I may not be directly marketing them in that moment, they're available for people to look at. Just think about you're not just marketing to a group of people. You are marketing to, if you think about, I call it adjacent marketing. There are other products that you use or you're proud to talk about that overlap what it is you're offering. So it's not always about, you're not necessarily promoting a competitor, you're promoting somebody who does something that's the next lane over. And by doing that, if the other person promotes you in the same way, that's really great. But you're providing value and building, you're really building a much greater audience that way. So you're the through line, not the product itself. So people aren't following tools, although they might for a little bit. They're following your thinking, your discernment, your taste. And so when I talk about Marbleism or LinPro or Zanekin, the constant is me. The variable is the context. So when you think in adjacent markets, not offers, you look sideways, not harder. Tools you already use, services you already trust, partners your audience already needs. And this is how big companies grow. Strategic partnerships, ecosystems, not funnels. So my link tree includes my business, promotional products company I'm proud of, no pitch deck, no countdown timer, just this exists. Use it if it helps. And so this is more of a long game principle. This week it'll be Marbleism, next week it may be LinPro, but it's always about Zanekin Studio because we provide value to our customers and our clients. And so the rule is always share value, rotate context, and stay in consistent integrity. So why this is important? There's a lot of AI tools out there. There's a lot of AI hype out there. There's a lot of good stuff happening, probably too much for any one of us to keep up with. There's a lot of not so good stuff happening, also too much for us to keep up with. The point is, pick your lane that's valuable to you and just expand your point of view out so you're sharing more with others. This is how we do, this is how we do at Zanekin, affiliate marketing without being salesy. We're just sharing the tools we use, the tools and services we use for ourselves, including AI tools, especially AI tools, since we're all about AI. And I don't need to hype on it. AI is here to stay. We're using it all the time. I was just sharing with Dean earlier this week. Um, our son gave us a Christmas present that we finally put up. He gave us, of all things, a bird feeder because we like to watch the birds in the morning when we drink our morning coffee. And what does this have to do with AI? Not only is this the most well-engineered bird feeder I have ever seen, including a solar panel on the top and everything else, it's connected to a camera that takes pictures and videos of the birds as they fly in. And where the AI comes in is it identifies the birds. And then if you click on the little thing, it'll tell you, give you an even more information. So if you're into serious bird watching in your own backyard, well, or front yard, it's right there. Furthermore, they designed this thing with a community layer so you can share all these things. My point being, this is an AI-driven product. So AI is coming into everything we do, and there's more coming and more on the way. So with that, I open it up for questions. How are you guys marketing? How do you see affiliate marketing? Am I the only one who does affiliate marketing?
No, I do affiliate marketing too.
Okay.
And it's just in general discussion with people, like when I'm promoting when I'm talking to somebody about genealogy, they ask me what tools I'm using as a genealogist. Um, and so I share with them the tools that I'm using, and they always have affiliate links with them. And I warn them because in the US, one of the things you do have to do is disclaim that this is an affiliate link and you may be making a small commission, but it doesn't change the price. The price is the same whether or not they use the affiliate link. And so you do have to disclose that in the US. I don't know about other places in the world. I'm still learning that. But I'm always talking about the different tools that I use within, and they say, well, how did you get that information? I said, well, I've got this really cool tool that I use, that da 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 da, and tell them about it and how it will benefit them with their research. So it's putting them in the place, like if they have a certain problem, this is going to solve that problem.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just through general chit chat. It's not salesy.
I'm not into the push, 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 push. Or as my husband and I like to say every year around Christmas. Now we just say it all the time. Please buy our beer. Merry, Merry, Merry Christmas, and please buy our beer. It's from an old radio show. It's okay. Now it's an inside joke. So, um, so that's what we're doing. And so this week I talked a lot about Marbleism because this morning already I've set up five Facebook campaigns, a LinkedIn campaign, and a couple of blog posts. And I did it while I was getting ready for this open office hour because now I have an AI team that does that. And I know Marbleism is not the only thing out there. I don't know if you guys have been noticing the Claude bot, or it's now Molt bot, that's been sweeping through the at least the internet that talks about AI tools. It is apparently a developer put it onto GitHub as an open source, and you download it to your computer. There is some technical setup, so I'm not necessarily saying go do this. There are inherent security risks with it, but it had like this immediate overnight adoption, like within 85,000 downloads within 24 hours, because people, once they set it up, they were giving it a command through their WhatsApp chat that connected directly to this thing, this Moltbot, and it would just go off and do the thing. They didn't even have to specify anything. It automatically figured out how to do whatever it was they were asking for. And so, yes, it sounds totally amazing. But we don't like to, I don't, especially since I haven't done it myself, I don't like to do, I call them dot zero versions. Let other people play with it, hone it. Maybe somebody else will invent a new version. And because it is open source, the developer doesn't have to worry about what people do with it. But we do at Zanekin Studio, we do. So we're not having our clients do the testing for us. So,
What
um,
was it called again?
Moltbot. It started out being Claudebot, spelled CLAWD bot, all one word. And that's what he introduced it as. And like I said, it had this immediate effect across the developer's internet. And naturally, Claude by Anthropic, even though it's not the same spelling, was a little upset, and they sent him something like a cease and desist, which to me makes perfect sense. Because my first thought was, oh, Anthropic put out something new. No. So he named it something completely different. He was totally amenable and called it Moltbot. So
How do I write that, Tirza?
Moltbot. So just do a search for it if you want to play with it. But of course, play with it at your risk. On the other hand, if you come back next week with your super fabulous, amazing report, well, I'll be interested. Apparently, it's taking AI automation to a whole and AI assistance to a whole new level. My point about this, though, is that this is going to be um, things like this are going to be happening faster and faster. It's incredibly amazing. So, um, what else do I want to say about that? So,
Have you seen Hope's comment in the thing there? That she heard about it, yet it seems to have way too much control on her computer.
yes, that was one of my concerns. Exactly right, Hope. That's why I didn't download the early version of I think it's Manus. I signed up for the beta version and then I read the terms and conditions. And it was similar things like, oh, we'll just take control of all your devices. Don't mind us. Have fun. Okay, that was Tears' spin on it. That's not exactly right, but I was concerned. So, um, that doesn't, I'm not trying to discourage people from playing with things. Of course, I love that, but just be careful. Read the T's and C's first. Isn't that what you call them, Helen?
Yep.
Yeah.
Terms and conditions.
Yes.
Or some of them might have terms of use, but it's basically what they're disclosing in there, what they can do, what your comebacks are, and things like that, and how your privacy is protected, and all that sort of stuff.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
And sometimes they make them really, really long because they know people aren't going to read that link thing. But right down near the bottom, somewhere near the bottom or buried in the middle, will be that little one sentence that you're looking for. Um, so I find if I put them into ChatGPT and tell it to summarize it for me, but also to look for anything that could be harmful to my information, my security and stuff, to highlight that as well.
Yes, I do that now too. So for the software tools that I've been using for, for several years, every year they go through this. We've updated our terms and conditions, and I just copy and paste them, or I give the link to ChatGPT and say, summarize this for me and tell me if there's something I need to know about. So,
I just want to know if there's anything dangerous if there's going to be any security breaches or anything. Is my information going to be safe or not?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
What are they doing with my information? What are they gathering? Yeah.
yes. I say yes to way too many things without reading them, personally. So, for example, every single Apple upgrade, that kind of thing. At this point, there's like 27 pages and I don't read them. I'm
Mm.
not recommending that, but I'm telling you that's kind of what happens.
It's the reality of the world. They inundate you with information and think, well, nobody's going to read these anyway.
Right. Right. Ah, Dean, go ahead.
Hey, Tirza. This is such an interesting topic. We moved from ChatGPT, and then we talked about GPTs as they progressed, and then from GPTs, at least where ChatGPT was concerned, then we went to agent mode and what those possibilities that opened up, and now with this Claude bot or Mold bot, um, I would like maybe us as a group or you tiers to kind of keep the radar out for these bots that can actually go out and do things for us, whether they're from the main brand labels or, startups, and
Mhm.
maybe put a focus on that for the next quarter or something like that as those come out, finding out because for me in my business, um, I'm not interested in AI to learn about AI. I'm interested in AI that I can get some productivity out of it. So it's not the learning I think you brought this topic up. If it doesn't save you time and it takes friction away, then skip it, right?
Mhm.
So I'm not here to learn just for the sake of learning, or not here or anywhere, but I'm here in exploring AI as to find new tools that will help me be more productive.
Exactly right. That's exactly right. And that's why, and so yes, I'm happy to do that. And especially if you come across a tool you'd like to learn about, then if you mention it here or send me an email, I'll be glad to look into it. Because there's a lot of really good tools out there. And as we've covered in this show, even um, uh, Dean one investigated the galaxy, and it was not for him, and shared that. Others of us are still using Galaxy, so it's always different points of view and what it is. What's the problem you're trying to solve, right? Skip the shiny stuff because we got plenty of shiny stuff all the time. So, so what else is going on, guys? Light thinking this morning.
You mentioned Galaxy AI. I'm just curious, those that use Galaxy AI, are you cashing in your free credits every day?
Great question.
Yeah, because you get some good credits in there. And it
Yeah,
means you don't have to go buy them and that sort of stuff. But then we've
right.
got the lifetime one where we get X number of credits free per month, but then we also get free daily ones as well.
Yes, I will admit Helen manages that part of our account. Otherwise, it would probably not get done. It's certainly
I
not
have it set up as a
consistently.
task to go off at 1:05 my time
Yep.
PM every single day because the counter ticks over at 1 o'clock to
Yes.
the new day. So that's my time here in New Zealand. So yeah, I go and do that and I've got a calendar reminder set up to do that every single day.
You know,
Yes.
speaking of the different tools that are out there,
Right.
and try Galaxy and so forth, um, I'm wondering when things are happening at such a rapid rate. Remember when cell phones first came out, or not first came out, the first decade, you got your plan based on minutes, right? And then when you went over your minutes, your bill really climbed, and then you would, and then some of the carriers just gave you a one monthly price and, unlimited or whatever, and then everyone adopted that. Nobody ever talks about I'm using up my minutes or I can't talk after 8 p.m. anymore. So, and it seems like the AI tools that are out there, whether it be Galaxy AI or Claude or ChatGPT or whatever, they're all giving you so many. Um,
Tokens.
yeah, exactly. And then you pay a monthly fee, but then you use up your tokens in the first 5 days. Whatever
Yeah.
it may be. If you're just doing regular LLM type of work, but if you're doing anything with video and audio that's really using up those tokens, I'm wondering if there are any indications that it is probably too early, that they're just going to go to a model where you pay a subscription fee, and unless you're ridiculously, you're a commercial user on an individual plan, you know, that they'll adopt the same type of model. I paid this monthly subscription, therefore I have the monthly use of that, without worrying about how many tokens I've used up because I was working on a video or something. I'm wondering if that's in the future.
I believe it is. Joseph, do you have an answer for Dean? Or did you have a different question?
Well, I have an answer and a question.
Okay.
The answer, the partial answer is that that's a great question. It's an ongoing problem. Pricing has been this never-ending problem with all of cloud IT, and these AI services are a type of cloud IT. There's basically no way to get out of the token thing because you could say to one of these video services something like, make me a 4 hour movie that is a detailed documentary of every species living in Florida or something like that. That would cause it to spend ridiculous amounts of tokens, and there's no way to stop people from saying that.
Right.
You know, so I think the best they could do would be to try to estimate beforehand what it's going to cost and then say to the person, hey, this is going to cost 1 million tokens. Do you want to do that? The phone thing was more of a monopoly problem. They were squeezing us for minutes, and then they finally upgraded their infrastructure. But you know what? You can still run into problems with that. Uh, if you start downloading stuff 24/7, they could very well block you or more likely put you into a slower connection.
Yes.
So that's my answer to that. It'll probably be similar. They'll call it free, but if you ask it for something really wild, they'll slow you down or warn you or something like that. But that is a great question because it's confusing to everyone now. Like, how much am I spending? Oh no, am I going to get a bill for $1,000? Or what's this going to do? So it's all still being worked out, and that's a major area of development. And it's nobody knows the answers. If anyone can figure it out, there's probably a market there. Like, how do you prompt so that you're going to end up with a certain number of tokens with a certain type of output? If anyone knows the answer to that, let me know. But but here's the question. I'm actually working on that problem right now because I'm trying to figure out, should I subscribe? Should I try to build my AI product on Amazon AWS, or should I buy an expensive NVIDIA GPU or a Mac laptop to do the same thing? Or should I try to use Gemini or Google's AI Studio? There's so many options now, it's hard to know. It's hard to compare them. I'm
Yes.
not even totally sure which of those is the least expensive. Does anyone know?
Not for sure. I will tell you that I was observing on X as this whole Moltbot thing was rolling out. One person in particular who I enjoy at least following what he posts, suggested that people who were going to use the Moltbot get their own Mac Mini and deploy it on their Mac Mini. So he was, I don't remember all of his reasoning for that, but the whole idea of the Moltbot was to have it all on your own computer and using your own compute resources. So that takes you out of the token problem, or at least it gives you that puts the token problem in your own lap. Whether that's the best way, I'm not sure yet. Um, I will say keep an eye on Gemini if you're not already using it or playing with it, because Google Labs is coming out with new tools all the time. So just yesterday, they announced Genie, which is a VR lab, and we are continuing with, not back to, we are continuing you give it a simple prompt about what it is you want to experience, and it builds this VR world for you, and you step into it and play or do whatever it is you want. Um, Obviously, it's in its beta mode. Um,
That's
it's testing the
that,
market. Yeah.
that's such an important point because as of the past 2 weeks or something, we're now in another explosion of innovation period, and we're going to have customers using this stuff, and we have to figure out how to reach them right away. Like they're all using this molt thing now. Okay, well, how do we reach them through that? You
Right.
know, now they're going to start using VR. Okay, how do we reach them through that? It's like an ongoing race.
Right. Right. Well, maybe not, maybe don't think about it as a race, but something to pay attention to. And but you bring up a super interesting point.
I've been having a lot of success, specifically in this week with Gemini. Gemini. I've noticed a big difference in, I mean, 3.0, I think has been out at least a month, maybe something like that, maybe longer. But just in this past week, where I was hitting a roadblock 14 days ago with Gemini,
Hmm.
just in my conversations, I want to say with her, with Gemini, um, she's she's helping me get around obstacles. I'm trying to get approved for certain things. For example, the A2P SMS certification and things like that. And she's helping me navigate, well, here's what the bots for this company are looking for, or my credit card processor. Here's what they are looking for. So you don't need to build a whole website out, but if you just build this, this, and this, you will most likely be approved and so forth. And and so really it's like a person kind of telling you, here's how you get around this whatever, whatever,
Right.
without being say sleazy, or something to that effect. Um, but where I've made progress, I've been working on a lead generation project now, going on a month. And this week, the prompts that Gemini and I have been able to generate together was a real breakthrough. Real breakthrough. I told her I was unhappy. I was getting email addresses that were general email addresses or info at type of thing. And I let her know I wasn't happy with that standard. It has to be a personal email, and there can't be any hallucinations, guessing, whatever. And so now what she is doing on her own, she says, apparently you have to trigger deep mind or deep thinking mode.
Yep.
You have to trigger that. And as soon as I triggered that, she went after every contact that she was generating for me and verified them three different ways, including the State Bureau of Corporations, including Better Business Bureau, if it was a chiropractor or a dentist or an optician. She went to the medical board for that particular state or county to get the owner's actual physical name and personal email. So she's verifying each lead that she's generating with at least three sources. I gave her Google Maps and Google Search,
Hmm.
and she went so much farther. And now that's the new standard. And so I thought before we closed out our session, which was 3.5 hours long, I said, write me, yeah, Helen's laughing. But in that 3.5 hours, I generated more leads than I have in the last 14 days. And they were
Wow.
all legitimate and they were all complete. I mean, I gave her six pieces of information that are required. If any one of these six are missing, skip it and go to the next business that would qualify. So at the end of our session, I had Gemini. I said, now that we've made all this progress, write me a prompt that includes all the iterations throughout today. Write me a concise prompt. And although I said concise, it ended up being the prompt was almost 3 pages long.
Wow.
For me, that's 3 pages. For the AI, that's a blink of an eye, right?
Yes.
And now I have this very thorough prompt package that I can move over to ChatGPT. Actually, I went back and forth with ChatGPT and Gemini. I
Good.
had one correct something and add to it or make it more concise, and I took that and I put it over to the other one, and then they added on what they thought was missing and so forth. So I now have a very robust engine that is better than I don't know the clear definition of a web scraper, but I believe it's a lot more intelligent than a scraping, would be.
Nice. Dang, Dean, that's outstanding. Definitely kudos to you. That is amazing. First of all, I love how you went back and forth between ChatGPT and Gemini, and that's something I encourage each of us to do. It doesn't have to be those two, but don't just rely on one LLM. Always check it with another one. Um, as in the same way that that Dean was doing. Plus, he got into the deep thinking. So each of the LLM tools has a similar mode. It probably has a different label, but definitely keep doing that. So I love what you're doing, Dean, and I'm thrilled that you're sharing it with us. Um, and yeah, congratulations. Oh, I wanted to ask you if you had considered putting that prompt or your framework into a gem in Gemini, which is similar to a GPT in ChatGPT. And the only reason for that is because then you don't have to copy and paste it every time you
Well,
need to do
you
that.
know, and I'm not that sophisticated where I even knew what a gem was. So, but I did through our interactions this week. I would ask, I said, now, are you going to remember this for our next session? He says, well, you need to go to your settings, you need to go to admin and do this or that and click this, and then it will be in my memory, going forward. And then when I had her write this, we called it, or she called it a master prompt. Um, she said, would you like me to, initiate this prompt next time? I will save it exactly this way. So she offered it. And of course, I copied my own and downloaded it to be safe. So, yeah. So I actually asked her to, I said, of all the AIs out here, because I heard about the Claude bot, and I asked her to compare 4 to 5 different AIs, Claude, Gronk, ChatGPT, Gemini, and so forth. Uh, I said the ChatGPT agent mode is a very helpful tool. What's going on in the marketplace right now? Which of these 4 or 5 AIs have a similar type AI agent mode?
Mhm.
And she broke it down for me, all four. And then Gemini is coming out with something, or is out with something that's not quite there yet. She said, but she gave me a very, Gemini gave me a very honest assessment. And she put Gemini like in third place in some of the categories, which surprised me.
Yeah, yeah, that's nice. No, that's a good thing. Joseph.
Yes, thanks. I too was going to ask for the prompt or at least a summary of it. If that can be posted somewhere, that would be amazing, or an explanation of it. Second, is there some way to make a similar prompt that would find influential people in corporations who work in a given area of IT and have influence on spending decisions? That would be my goal prompt, and thanks, because you're giving me inspiration to come up with something like that. And then third, I'd like to use Perplexity. I like it how it's kind of concise and gives references. Does anyone have thoughts on how Perplexity compares to the others? Thanks.
Actually, I love Perplexity for research. So I haven't been building a lead system like Dean has, but I come up with these business ideas, within the scope of Zanekin, and then I say to ChatGPT, okay, what do I need to talk to? And it gives me an answer, and I go, okay, and then I go over to Perplexity and I say, okay, this is the business. Here's my business idea. This is the thing I want. And it says, oh, these niches would match what you're doing. And then with Perplexity, I can say, great, give me specific examples of companies with contact information. And it provides it immediately. So I don't have that, whatever it is, I don't have that set up with ChatGPT. I guess my discussions with ChatGPT have always been more philosophical, and so that's how it answers. So,
Joseph, to your question, most major corporations have a quote unquote purchasing department, and you could find the head of that department or whatever. My father was head of purchasing for Motorola USA, and they would send once a year. He would go on a month-long trip to Asia and the different countries there that they were buying, IC chips from, and so forth and so on. So the purchasing department would probably be an easier path in a prompt. Find me someone in purchasing that deals with outside vendors or whatever. My guess.
Thanks.
and if you don't really want to share the prompt that you created, Dean, just sharing the process by which you came up with it, would also be incredibly valuable.
It's also it's pretty specific. I mean, I'm looking for the prompt includes small, local, independent, mom and pop type businesses.
Right.
So that kind of prompt is not going to work for almost anyone, except, someone who's doing specifically wants to only deal with mom and pop type of businesses.
Right.
And some of it I didn't tell Gemini specifically what I wanted when I went into deep thinking mode. I mean, I just told her to use Google search and Google Maps. But when we went into deep thinking, or deep think mode, or whatever they call it, she was going out, and suddenly we went from all these general mailboxes to exact people's names. It was night and day. And I said, what did you do? And she said, well, I went to the Better Business Bureau. I did this, I did that, all without my instructions. And I said, okay, from now on, from this point forward, I want you to list in such and such column your sources,
Yes.
you know? And so she abbreviated, and then I created a column for those sources, and I had to rebuild the whole list after that. So, yeah, I'm happy to share my prompt, but I don't think it's not like a general, hey, give me all the businesses that do this or that. It's really kind of a small local business type of thing. I don't know, would that be useful to you, Joseph?
Yes, thanks.
Okay,
Then share that privately between you rather than posting it here, Dean.
will do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I
So
think it would just be nice to see how you worded things, to have us then trigger for ourselves how we would translate that to our requirements. But that's just my thought.
yeah, which is why I stress process so much. How a certain thing was done rather than the immediate results. One of the things that you pointed out, Dean, though, that I love about Perplexity is Perplexity provides sources. And so I often will click on the sources because sometimes that gives me even more information than the original stuff that we were talking about. So that's one of the reasons Perplexity started out as a research tool and it continues to excel at that in my opinion. So what else is going on? Nancy, you've been working on some marketing stuff, yeah? Or lead generation stuff, I should say.
Yeah, I haven't been very successful with it though. So that's kind of why what Dean was talking about really sounded very interesting to me. And so I think I'm going to try to change my wording and use perplexity as well to try to put the pieces together a bit better. Um,
Yeah. Yeah. As always, the more specific you can get, the better. Don't be, I guess I would say, uh, don't be afraid to get too specific. Go for something super specific, for example, see what it gives you. And then from that, you can widen out again to get more of the information that you're looking for.
I also have to admit, I'm also now working closer with the local chamber of commerce and asking them the same types of questions. And you know what? I'm getting answers from them too.
Nice. Actually, you bring up a very good point, Nancy. Um, uh, for me, more on a personal level, but um, all my conversations with ChatGPT and then other LLMs have caused me to better understand how to talk to people, and be specific with them because I realize that I spent a lot of time just being vague and hoping the person I was talking to would, sort of woo 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 pick up on what I really meant. And it works much better if I'm more specific. Just personal confession time. So, oh, thanks for sharing those, Joseph. So Joseph put in his email and LinkedIn for those who wish to connect. Um, as always, connecting behind the scenes. Boy, that's one of those magical things of a community. So what else? What else have I been? I've been, as I mentioned, I've been using ChatGPT to brainstorm business ideas the last couple of weeks. I go over to Gemini and flesh them out a bit, and then I go over to Perplexity to define my audience. So, um, thank you, Nancy. Nancy sharing that we can her email address. So absolutely, I appreciate that. So, yeah, what Nancy's doing is really quite interesting, and I'm curious to hear over time how you're developing relationships with the Chamber of Commerce is going to pan out. So I'm excited for you. Uh, yeah, yeah. As with all things entrepreneurial, you try something, it doesn't work, you step back, you go try something else. Um, and but one of the other things is, like I said, the human relationships we create will be more important than ever as AI gets more and more involved in things that we do. How about points of friction? How are you guys dealing with points of friction? And by that, I mean, have you ever been doing something, say, with an AI or LLM, or you're doing some work on your computer, and I get this pop-up that says, "Here, try this thing." And my first response is, "No, I don't know. I don't know what this is." I will still urge caution. But on some of the few times, like in Gemini, when that's popped up, I've said, "Okay, let's give that a try." And for example, at that moment, I was copying work from one browser tab to another browser tab. So like going from a LLI output to a LLM, sorry, output to a spreadsheet or a document. And Gemini gives us pop-ups, says, "Would you like me to merge those tabs for you?" Okay, I don't know why, but I said yes. It temporarily merged the tabs, which made my cut and paste operation super easy because now it's all in one tab. And then when I was finished with that, I exited the tab and it broke back into the two tabs. Now, that was super cool. It spontaneously came up. I used it. It was wonderful. And now I have no idea how to get it back. So just thought I'd share that. Are you guys playing
Ask,
around with
sorry,
that
ask
subject?
Gemini how to put it back.
Oh,
It
great
did it
idea.
for you. Ask it how to put it back.
Good idea. Thank you, Nancy. Yep. Oh, yes, Hope. Please do share a little bit more about that. That's been a lovely journey to witness in addition to what you created, if you'd
You're
like.
talking to Hope.
Yes.
Yeah, I just had to get my mic on. Um, I don't know. I decided to. I mean, I've been watching all this AI stuff for a while, and I'm kind of happily retired, but been thinking, what do I want to do next, right? So I've been looking at all these different things. One of the things I've been here, really inspired by a lot of people here, and I did say it before, Helen. I know you challenged me on that, but I kind of like the fact that this group is a little bit older than the young crowd who it's just a different mindset. And I'm there too, but I also like it here because of the difference in the mindset and the approach. Anyway, what I've been doing is putting I've written for a long time and I've been putting my lyrics, poetry to AI music. I used to sing. I used to sing a lot in church. A few years ago, I literally lost my voice. It took me over a year to even to be able to have this conversation we're having now. And I never got my singing voice back, just my speaking voice. So AI has given me an opportunity to put my poetry to music. And I'm having so much fun doing it that I'm just like, it's like I've found my joy, I've found my heaven. Plus, I'm writing what I call spiritual blues. Um, so it's been very therapeutic as well, very healing. And a few days ago, I had this lady, and the feedback she gave me, I mean, I've been getting a lot of good feedback, but the feedback she gave me just touched my heart, my soul. So my one of the comments she said, "Hope, this is not a song. This is divine intervention." And I'm just like, so if I didn't have any clarity about continuing on this journey of, writing songs, creating music, and eventually getting into AI filmmaking, which is kind of where I want to be going with a lot of this music videos and AI filmmaking, that just took it away. This is this is me now. This is my new journey. I've gained clarity and I'm so deeply grateful for that. I'm so deeply grateful. So yeah, this is where I'm at, and I'm excited. I'm really excited. And this part of this will just help me once I do the business stuff to sort of help me with the business side of the business as opposed to the creative side of the business. So thank you for sharing my journey, and thank you all just for being awesome and for all your beautiful shares. I'm learning so much. I'm inspired by you, Dean, and all the stuff that you're doing. Helen, Cherza, Marcy, your tenacity. Um, thank you. Just thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Hope. If you would like to, if you'd like to share the link to your song for those who would be interested, in the chat, um, yeah, Nancy's vigorously shaking her head. So I've had the honor of listening to it, and I think it's just beautiful. So, but I will leave that up to you, Hope, if you would like to do that. But thank you for sharing your story with us.
Yes,
That's
thank you. Oh, sorry, carry on.
Nope, go ahead.
One of the things I just thought of was if you have recordings of when you used to sing, if you have any recordings before you lost your voice of you singing, there is now, I don't know the name of the app. It's been coming through my TikTok feed and my Instagram feed like crazy lately. But there's now one where you upload a picture of, upload your photograph, you upload a recording, you do a recording of your voice. So this is where you could play your singing from before you lost your voice. And then you type in a song that you like, and it creates a video of you singing that song in your voice. And I was sort of like, I wonder if I can do that for its own, for your own words. You upload your own, like go to something like Suno and record your song there and get AI to generate the music and the singers for you. And then you go over and you upload that to the other one, whether you could do it that way. But still exploring. It's just a brand new app that's come out. And I don't remember the name of it. When I next see it, I'm going to take note of it because that was kind of cool. But I love Suno, and I've got my niece and nephew's wedding coming up in April. And so what I did is I got on ChatGPT and I said, here is their story. I want to include the phrase super fantastic and sparkling. And it generated, and I said, I want to do it as a song, as a duet. And so it created the lyrics. And so now I'm going into Suno to get my two avatars in Suno to record the song as a duet. So I'm curious, so I'm looking forward to see how that turns out, but I'll keep you guys posted on that one. And then I'm going to send it to them as a QR code to a private YouTube link where they can hear it themselves. I've got the card ready. I just need to stick the QR code on there and send that off to them for their wedding.
Oh, that sounds so beautiful, Helen.
But it just shows you that it doesn't have to be business related. You can do a whole bunch of stuff out there just for fun. And I love to write. And so this time I said, I'm gonna struggle to write their story as a song. So I just asked ChatGPT about here's their story, and I got it off their wedding page, their not page, and copied and pasted that over to ChatGPT and said, this is why I love this couple, why I love my nephew and his bride to be. And I want to make sure that super fantastic and sparkling is in there somewhere, because then they know it's definitely me. And wrote this beautiful duet. And so I can't wait to get it to music.
I love that. Thank
Helen,
you,
I'm sorry.
Helen.
What's the name of the Suno? Is it Soono?
Suno. It's like sumo, but it's got an N instead of an M.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank
it's
you.
$10. It's $10 a month. And here's the thing. It is a free app, but if you record a song with them while it's in the free area, you have no rights to that song.
And you
If
also
you pay the $10 a month, you then have full rights to your song, all the
yeah,
copyrights and
do the
everything.
free, you can't monetize it.
Say
Sorry,
that
what was that,
again, Hope?
Hope?
I said if you use the free version, you cannot monetize it. You cannot
Correct.
use
You
Right.
can you lose all rights to the song. If you record a song with them on the
can't use it
free,
partially at
you
all.
have no rights to that song. So you can't sell it, you can't monetize it or anything else. So pay the $10 a month, and it will you retain all your rights to the song, and then you can go register it on all the different platforms and stuff as your song.
Actually, I think what happened, and correct me if I'm wrong, Helen. Um, I remember earlier this year, I think it was, or maybe it was last year. Um, their sequence of events. I think Hope brought up Suno in one of our community chats here, and then Helen went off and created her first beautiful song as well.
Well, I already had the lyrics written, I just didn't know how to compose the music. And so when Hope brought up soon, I'm like, I'm going in there and trying it. And that was June or July of last year. And went in and it gave me, because I kept tweaking it. and I ended up with 8 different versions, and I narrowed it down to 2, one male, one female. So then I went into ChatGPT and said, here's the song. I need to know what these people look like. I need to put a face to the voices. And it came, and the first one was Tui Ross, and she was named Tui is a native bird of New Zealand, which I absolutely love. And I hear them every morning. They start up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and they basically go all day unless it's raining. And Ross is the clan I descend from in Scotland. So I had that heritage thing to it. And then the other one was Brodie Carmichael. We created his persona, and his took a little bit of tweaking, but she got Tui on the first go, and then Brodie, it took a couple of bits of tweaking because I wanted him to look a certain way. And his name comes from my dad's side of the family. I went back through the family tree, and I have my third great grandmother, her last name was Brodie. And then her husband's mother, so her mother-in-law, her last name was Carmichael. And we call it Celtic Fern Studios. So
Which
nod to my Celtic roots and nod to my New Zealand roots, because the silver fern is the national fern of New Zealand, if you want to call it a fern or a flower or whatever.
wow.
The silver fern. So yes, so Celtic Fern Studio is the name of our studio. So I'm looking
Is
forward
that
to getting
a
some more.
is that a separate YouTube channel, Helen?
Yes, it is.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
So there we go. Hope posted a link to hers. Thank you very much. Oh, 3. I've only got to hear 1.
Oh, awesome. I'm going to go over and have a listen as soon as we get off this.
So, DistroKid, what is this, a multiple platform? That's cool. Wow.
You put it up on DistroKid and it distributes it to other platforms. So I bought because a few months over Christmas holidays, there was specials. So I actually bought a year subscription on that, and I bought a year subscription on Studio. I actually bought the upper level pass, the other the one where you get the studio. So it was like $200 or something for the year. So I bought that and the DistroKid for a year, but they had this big promotion of the Christmas holidays. So I just said, okay, I'm gonna be doing this. I'll just because the way I calculated it would cost me so much more to pay for it monthly. So it was just cheaper for me to just do the year. So I took a chance that I wasn't gonna cop out. So but DistroKid, like it's a distribution platform, and it will then once you upload it there, it will distribute your music to several other platforms instead of you having to do it individually. So
Wow.
yeah, that it's cool from that point of view. But I'm waiting until I complete the album. I have all the songs so far. However, I'm working on the cover art. It's almost finished, but I just have a little bit left to, and I was playing, I'm creating this AI music character. So then I had to think of a name for it because it's not really me. So, just putting together the whole idea, the sequence of the song so it flows in a particular style, you know, it's a process. And I find when I'm doing creative, I can't just, it's not like doing business where you can kind of, it's very structured. It's a whole different flow. So I kind of have to work on it, put it down, come back to it, work on it again. Sometimes give myself a breather, come back again. So I'm almost finished with the album. I just need to finalize the cover art, and then I'll upload it to DistroKid, and then it'll be there. But I'm really excited. I'm just like, oh my gosh, again. I'm just, and then I had shared it with a group that I'm doing a collaboration book with, and I shared it in our WhatsApp group. And this one lady, she was so excited. We weren't connected on Facebook, and she told me how she hunted me down because she was having a mentorship group that evening, and she wanted the song to share with the group. So she ended up sharing, inviting me to the group that evening. It was like a meditation group. And but she told me, oh, you wouldn't know how he hunted you down. It was so funny. So, with that kind of feedback, um, like I said, it's confirmation, that that it's not a song, it's a divine intervention. So just looking at it from that point of view, it's like, inspirational speaking, motivational speaking, you know, you're creating something that's making that's helping other people. So yeah, that's kind of, anyways, I'm rambling a little bit, but yeah, that's it. I'm excited. I'm excited about sharing the mission, so to speak. The mission of hope, I guess what you call it.
I absolutely love that. Thank you so much, Hope. And then Helen has shared in the chat her link to her song with the two versions of it. And so we've covered
Oh,
quite
yeah.
a lovely range today. I am so thrilled with this community. We started out with some uh, affiliate marketing, and we've moved to lead generation machines. Thank you, Dean. To discussions about AIs in general. Thank you very much, Joseph. And then into the creative realm, where divine inspiration is now using AI to amplify and get their content out there. So, and then to Nancy sharing about um, uh, Chamber of Commerce relationships. So, working with actual humans instead of AI to AI. So, which don't keep that out of the picture. I'm just saying we have this lovely range in this group. And thank you all so much. If you know anyone who would love to join this community, we'd love to have them. We have Helen and I do a podcast on Sunday. It's a different format from this, but she and I go over 7 AI questions every week, and we answer them on the air. And as always, if you know people who are interested in either or both, then please send them our way. We'd be glad to have them. We'd love to grow this community because I think there are people out there like us who have so much more to share. Helen, any final thoughts?
Yep, I'm just adding the YouTube link I just put in there for Zanekin Studio is where we go live at Sunday at 5 p.m. Pacific time.
Yes.
Yes, and do our 7 questions. We're still in the new stages of it, so there's little hesitations every now and again, but we're getting better. But practice makes perfect.
That's
So
right.
yeah, so come join us on that. We stream live onto the YouTube channel. We can't do it onto the Facebook page, onto the Facebook because it would go to my personal profile. We can't get it, but I want it to go to the Zanekin page, and it won't do that. So we're only streaming live into this, but we can go back and upload the videos to our Facebook page, our Zanekin Studio Facebook page.
Yes.
What I was wondering, what is Zanekin Studios? What is that? Where did you come to be using that?
We had a very creative session one day. Both Teresa and I were on one of our weekly meetings, and we're going backwards and forwards with name ideas, and ChatGPT wasn't being helpful or creative or very creative about it. And so Teresa suddenly said, she says, you know, my last name used to be, my maiden name was Zane, so I'd love to be able to use that. And then I said, well, my maiden name's Eakins, and I'd love to use that. So we put both of those into ChatGPT, and it came out with Zanekin Studio. So Zane is that first half, then the E of Eakins is the last letter of Zane, and my S is the first letter of studio. So
Okay,
that's how we
And
came up with it, and we thought it was really cool.
thank you.
Yeah.
thank you for asking.
Oh, you're going on a cruise, Nancy? Awesome. Where are you cruising to?
Just around the Los Angeles area, but my niece and my grandnieces and nephews are coming in from Utah. My daughter's coming up from San Diego. So there'll be 10 of us just bonding and having
Nice.
some fun. So I'm going to miss
Awesome.
everybody next week. So I apologize.
That you don't
Oh,
need to apologize for that. Family
Have a
time's
great
important.
fun.
Yeah.
I
family
know, but I don't
first.
like missing them.
I go for a cruise in April. Doing Tazza and I are on the Investors Cruise that's coming up in April. And then the day
Oh,
I get off the ship, I have to get on a plane to fly down to Cabo for my niece and nephews for my nephew's wedding.
wow.
So yeah, and he's getting married on the 25th of April, which also happens to be his late grandparents' 81st wedding anniversary.
Wow.
And he did not
Wow.
know that when they chose the date.
Um,
Yeah, and it's like in 1998, Brad proposed to me on the 25th of April, not knowing it was his parents' wedding anniversary. We found that out a few months later. I said, "Did you realize we got married? We got engaged on your parents' wedding anniversary?" He says, I have no clue when their anniversary is.
Men. Sorry,
Yeah,
Dean.
exactly.
Joseph.
All right, on that note, everybody have a fabulous week and a wonderful weekend. We'll see you Sunday, and or we'll see you here again on Friday next week.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
You.